Indigenous Rights Radio, because knowledge is power.
Hello, good morning from Maasai land and welcome to the Indigenous Rights Radio. All around us we have been hearing new says like clean energy, transition minerals and green economy. We have a conversation in our communities about how this technology impact them as indigenous people. Today we are going to listen from the Maasai from northern Tanzania to find out more about mining for transition minerals. And what does it mean for indigenous communities? Fossil fuel and other conventional energy sources emit a lot of greenhouse gas, which cause harm to the environment and people. It is clear that climate change is a practical threat to humanity, and each one of us needs to do our bit to care for our environment. Maasai from northern Tanzania have explained on how they have been affected by climate change, prolonged drought, which cause loss of their livestock, especially in the dry season. They also mentioned that the great threat imposed by the extraction of minerals into Maasai district of Ngorongoro and Longido. When speaking to the Maasai elders, they say that transition minerals such as nickel, lithium, cobalt and copper are not commonly in their territories, but their land, culture and livelihood is not safe at all due to extraction of other minerals found in their land like tanzanite, red and green avenger, ruby and spessartite.
My name is Shomet or Naingisa. I am a Maasai elder from Loliondo, and I am a traditional pastoralist, and we are living in an area where relationship between nature and the Maasai system is very, very close. We respect nature and we still live harmoniously with nature, with wildlife. And that's why most of the land taken for conservation and wildlife conservation is formerly Maasai land. Precious minerals are minerals which actually attract financial value in the local and international market. They are minerals which are marketable in the local market, in the international market. In the Maasai land, most of the precious minerals which are found are green garnet, ruby, tanzanite, spessartite mine, green avenger, red avenger, and green tourmaline, and green garnet. The ecology of any specific area informs the Maasai culture, the Maasai indigenous knowledge, and therefore, there is a very close relationship between nature and the Maasai cultural system.
How do these minerals endanger the Maasai land in terms of cultural system?
These minerals can endanger the Maasai in terms of cultural system because, one, it actually engenders or causes land alienation. Because if the type of mineral which is discovered in the Maasai land is very precious, then most likely very big and rich investors are attracted. And when they come, they need a big land, and they are given actually very vast areas in order to be able to do mining, and they get exclusive rights for mining in that area, and definitely this actually causes land alienation. There are several threats which can be brought about by mining in a given area in Maasai land. Number one, as I said, is land alienation. The land which is actually taken away for mining will not be used again for grazing. Negative cultural influences from people coming from outside, from other cultures, and intermingle with the local people, and they can bring very foreign cultural elements which can be very detrimental to the Maasai cultural system. And number three, depending on the positioning or the geographical positioning of the mine, it can actually destroy very important sources of water. The other thing is deforestation can take place as a result of mining, because when mining begins in an area which is heavily forested, the trees will have to be felled down in order to clear the area for mining. And ballistic, the use of ballistic the dynamites also creates big holes in the area, actually, which destroys the land surface, and it becomes dangerous for animals to go through the area, because they can actually go into the holes and and die.
Wanashikari muri Tanzania, nchi yetu ya busara. Wai nyakalonga we. Wandugu wote mwakaribishwe. Karibuni muone mambo ya Tanzania. Karibuni muone mambo ya Zanzibar. Zanzibar ni nchi ya amani. Wote mnakaribishwa. Baba wai nyakalonga we. Baba
The other possible threat is some of the minerals extracted from mines in Maasai land are taken to big factories in Europe or in China and processed. And such processing facilities actually generate a lot of greenhouse gases, which actually is a serious problem in destroying the ozone layer. And the other thing is that by processing such minerals like Green Avenger and the Red Avenger, they are taken to big factories in China. They produce a lot of pollution or greenhouse gas emissions, and by doing so, actually, it complicates the climate change in our planet, and this affects the pastoralists mostly more than any other group, and it causes what they call recurrent droughts or protracted droughts in Maasai land, which has had a serious havoc on the economy of the Maasai, which is a traditional pastoralism. The benefits of minerals for the Maasai society, according to the law, is that the investor is supposed to present a plan for sharing some of the benefits accruing from the business with the community. You must submit that to the government, that if when production begins and you begin to get money, you must give a certain percentage of the money or the proceeds to the local community. You must consult the local village government. Number one thing is to educate the Maasai to understand the existing law or legal framework around minerals, so that if a precious mineral is found in Maasai land, the indigenous Maasai people should be enabled actually to acquire a license, so that they become the owners of the mine and go into probably joint venture with another investor, but the owners must be the Maasai, because then they will be able to work closely with their fellow Maasais, and they will respect the traditional land use and management systems in the area.
Wanashikari muri Tanzania nchi yetu ya busara.
Simon Melau.
My name is Simon Melau, a traditional leader from Loliondo district. Precious stones are stones with monetary values extracted within the ground. These minerals are available in our land. For example, in Mtarara village, in Ketumbene neighborhood, which are pastures and grazing zones, there is extraction of precious stones. We are experiencing the significant impact of climate change. As pastoralists, we are uncertain of our future. We have experienced a lot of destruction. 90% of indigenous Maasai in Loliondo districts are pastoralists. We are not farmers. Pastoralist is our business and profession. We are extremely concerned on protecting our land and grazing zones. We have protected like a high retina. It is a cornerstone of our livelihood. If our land is destroyed, our life is destroyed. If you see, for instance, in mined areas, there is extremely destruction. They are no longer suitable for grazing. Worse enough, the land is now belonging to investors. We have a tremendous challenge investing in these mines. The policy gives the full ownership of these stones to the government. You can own a mine, but not the stones in the mine. It does not benefit us at all. We need this policy changed. Not only precious stones, but all natural resources policies should be changed. It should benefit us as indigenous Maasai. We are doing a lot to protect these resources. For example, if the government brings in the investor, we are not engaged in any process. They do not seek our consent. We should have a full mandate of our territories and their resources. There are only 3 pillars in our knowledge. The first is the land, the second is people, and the third is livestock. We recommend the government to seek our consent for any development project decisions. We know our land more than anyone else. Water sources, sacred places, grazing zones, and mineral zones. Our stand as traditional leaders and elders is unbreakable. We do not allow any extraction of minerals in our land.
My name is Mathias Thooko. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. Please make sure that you listen more on the right of indigenous peoples by visit cs.org and follow Cultural Survival on Facebook, Twitter, and listen to the Indigenous Right Radio on SoundCloud and Spotify.
Karibuni muone mambo ya Tanzania. Karibuni muone mambo ya Zanzibar. Zanzibar ni nchi ya amani, wote mnakaribishwa. Baba wai nakalonga baba